Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Zymox, and I'm your chief show attendant. On behalf of the two hosts and the rest of the crew, welcome aboard Weird Wednesday flight number 13, non-stop, from your current location to parts unknown. Our flight will be of about 2 hours, and we'll be flying at the speed of sound. At this time, make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position, and that your seat belt is currently fastened. Enjoy the ride.
Hey, are you there? Oh, crappers. Yeah.
Everybody.
You know, that beginning of the show, failure right at the end of the intro video there. My whole computer just went black.
I'm like, is it my internet? Is it Rob? Wait, I still see Rob. Is my internet?
Electronic gremlins kicking in. How's everybody doing now that we're finally back here? Man.
I was so glad I saw Royal or someone. They're like, what happened? I'm like, okay, now someone said something. I'm like, is anybody else noticing? Like, what's going on right now?
It's a really
Did you
short
get a warning on your side too?
A warning? No, I didn't get nothing. It was just like boom, just everything just took it down.
It said your audio was also removed due to something.
Do you hear music right now?
I do. Oh,
Okay.
you might get keyed for that.
Nah, it's royalty-free music. I bought it.
Oh. This is my audio.
Yes. I paid
There
dearly.
are many like it, but I paid for this.
Exactly. Yes. Yes, indeed. JL says, did I catch him yet? No, I haven't caught him yet. But I will. Yes, indeed. It's a small world.
Oh, it'll happen.
It'll happen.
Divine timing.
Yeah. Not to mention, I have friends in high places.
And low places, too.
And low places, too. Exactly.
That's a good part.
Yeah. High
Or
and,
the helpful part.
yeah.
The additional helpful part.
Yeah. Yeah. Things could be worse for sure. Debbie says, happy holidays, Robin Jamie. Yes. Merry Christmas. It's almost Christmas. Can you believe
Merry
that?
Christmas.
What is it, like 3 or 4 days till Christmas?
I don't know. It's like almost Easter.
Really?
And then it's going to be summer. It's going to be August again. And then it's going to be Halloween again. And then it's going to be this again.
I'm almost 8 years old. God.
We're chunking. We're like passing big chunks of time. It feels like the days are longer, but the years are shorter.
Yeah.
Though they don't feel longer.
Debbie says 3 days as of now. Yes. Saint Nick is on this. Have you been naughty?
Yeah, that's between me and my Santa. Me and my Papa Claus.
Claus. Yeah. Hard to believe.
It depends what you consider.
Yeah, what's considered naughty
Nowadays.
Yeah, really.
It's a very fine line. I'm probably as vanilla as you get nowadays.
Yeah, well, it says a little chilly down here. Yes, man, it is. Let's see, what is it right now? I know this weekend it's supposed to be in the teens, and that's just
that's less than me.
That's redonkulous for Florida.
Yeah.
Right now, it says, according to the What the F weather report,
mine's 44 right now.
It says it's 56 right now. It actually felt like when I just rolled the trash cans out to the road earlier, it felt like it had warmed up just a tad. Just a scooch. Is that a word? I don't know.
Yeah, it is. You said it. It's not getting less than 41 here, like in the next 5 days. So that's pretty damn cold.
Yeah.
You're going to have snakesicles.
Oh, yeah. It's supposed to get in the teens, like 20s. And no, man, Merry Christmas. No. I'll deal with it. Get it out of the system. Let's have a couple of cold-ass, miserable days. And then it can warm back up and be Florida again. I'll give it that. A month or two of this shit? No. I might have to be moving to South Florida.
You're like negotiating with Mother Nature. You're like, okay.
Yeah, Mother Nature.
I'll give it to you. Well, give us whatever, like, extra. We need the water. Everywhere needs the water.
It's been like misty and crappy and rainy and overcast here for like the last week. It's ridiculous.
It's been foggy as hell. Tonight we have another fog advisory. It looks cool with the Christmas lights though, because it looks like smoke screen black backdrop.
Yeah.
We went riding scooters last night in that cold snow.
Wow.
It's almost like Dumb and Dumber. Only we each had a scooter. And had the fur thing around my face and then my hoodie down over my eyes and
Yeah,
then
you bundled
gloves.
up.
So my pants got a little bit cold, but the thing was my nose was like just kept on running, and then like with that rabbit, not real rabbit fur, but the idea of the soft lining on the inside sounds good till you've got snot running down your face. You're trying to twist that thing around, and
Yeah.
it doesn't turn out pretty. But I did stay warm.
Yeah. That's important.
Took it through the golf courses, four-wheeling a little bit.
Nice. Yeah, those scooters look pretty cool. When you said scooters, I was thinking of like, a scooter, like a moped type scooter. I didn't realize it was like a board type scooter.
I still sit, like he stands. One of them is better than the other. Like the one I was sitting on, the seat all of a sudden kept like going up like a rocket, and I'm like, dude, I don't know about this seat. Like this is going places I don't think it should be, and my ass is like dragging, and thinking, this like doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
And then he's like, would tighten it, but then he'd sit, and then all of a sudden the thing, it's like a airplane taking off. Like,
Wow.
I'm like, I don't know how much of this I'm going to be able to sustain. And then he tried it, and he's like, oh yeah, these are different. He's going to do something to that.
Speaking of things going up your butt, like I could just segue right into that. Oh, my first article of, the daily Weird Wednesday weirdness. Is my screen not working? Hey, that's nothing new. Here we go. 88-year-old walks into the hospital with a World War I shell stuck in his rectum. Now,
oh dear, that's like from a 20 gauge or like a.
I mean, how? But there's more. There's a little blurb at the
major ulterior.
Yeah. Okay. A hospital in France was evacuated after a patient arrived with a rather unusual object stuck in his posterior. The bizarre incident took place recently at a hospital, St. Meus in Toulon, France, when the man, whose name has not been disclosed, walked into the emergency room with an 8-inch artillery shell stuck in his rectum. Ouch. His arrival caused something of a bomb scare with officials concerned that the device might explode. That'd be a hell of a way to die, wouldn't it?
A bomb scare.
He's fitting to drop a bomb. Up in
the
here.
Robot.
Exactly. An assessment by a bomb disposal unit, however, found that the shell was harmless. An emergency occurred from 9 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. on Saturday that required the intervention of a bomb disposal personnel, the evacuation of adult and pediatric emergencies, as well as the diversion of incoming emergencies, a hospital spokesman told the press. We got a guy with a shell stuck up his ass in here. We're going to have to move everybody out. We had to manage the risk in a relative framework. When in doubt, we took all precautions. Fortunately for the patient, the shell was removed successfully by doctors a short time later. We'd rather not ask exactly how it ended up in his butt in the first place. Here's the end kicker. This case echoes a very similar incident, which took place in Gloucestershire, England, a few years ago when a World War II memorabilia collector walked into the hospital with a tank shell stuck in his rectum.
Wowzers.
I don't even know how. Merry Christmas. Speaking of Dumb and Dumber. Wow. How do you stick a tank shell in your butt and walk into the emergency room?
Well, it's not even at that point in your butt. At that point, that's in now deep in your like body between all sorts of organs. I mean, that's got to be coming back out of the mouth.
Wow.
I don't know if I greeted everybody.
Hey, you want to get freaky tonight? Let's stick tank shells up each other's head. What do you say? I hope they got good
I'm a
loot.
little concerned about that. And it would depend. Do they leave like the light? You know, has it been uncommissioned, but they still have like the actual propellant on the end of it, the pointy part, because that can actually like poke through all sorts of stuff inside you that you don't want to have punctured.
Yeah. I don't advise sticking tank shells in your butt. A finger or something, no big deal, but a tank shell? World War One. I like how it said it was a World War II memorabilia collector. It's like, I was cleaning my memorabilia and I slipped and fell on a banana peel and landed on this and wasn't wearing any shorts and went right in my butt. Talk about strange occurrences.
Well, segueing to strange occurrences, there's been a lot of recent strange occurrences going on down in Wisconsin. I happened to catch a Fox News episode, Tucker segment yesterday walking by, where they're talking about a whole mess of UFO type lights and sightings that have been seen around the Wisconsin area. The actual Tucker segment's like 8 minutes long, and they go on to talk about how they've actually, formed a Facebook group for people for the past few days who have been seeing these sightings to join and share their pictures, this and that. And more people are coming in from different places. So it's kind of like their own database that they're creating based on what's been going on just recently. Besides the 8-minute Tucker thing and the YouTube, I did find a Daily Mail article for one of the gentlemen that were interviewed by Mr. Tucker. And this is what he's got to say. Exclusive. Close encounters of the first kind. Multiple witnesses share extraordinary videos of possible UFO sighting in rural Michigan, where strange bright white lights were seen zipping across night skies. And they talk about West Bend, Howard, Fredonia. Strange lights shooting across rural Wisconsin skies this month were filmed by witnesses in multiple stunning videos obtained by DailyMail.com, with one having a spooky up-close encounter. The footage from December 1st shows bright white lights zipping across cloudy skies over the rolling farmland near West Bend and Fredonia, Wisconsin. Moving at incredible speeds and appearing to come from above the thin cloud layer that night, the phenomenon left witnesses believing they had seen a true UFO display. Unlike most incidents from a single blurry, shaky camera, this case has at least 2 witnesses who did not know each other and had filmed the lights at the same time from different locations, according to their video metadata. DailyMail.com obtained videos from Kimberly, 52, a salon owner from West Bend, and Ken, 54, a former police officer and financial services worker in Fredonia. The ARA is around 35 miles north of Milwaukee. Both asked not to share their last names. Kimberly said she was driving home with her husband on Wallace Lake Road, West Bend, about 10:45 p.m. when they encountered something strange just a few feet from the car. All of a sudden, we saw what looked like to be a white owl swoop from the upper right top of the tree, right hand top of the trees down in front of the headlights and up to the left, she told dailymail.com. That's creepy. She said on rare occasions they would see an owl tilt past their headlights while driving on country roads. That's making me think of my white owl that guided me down the street. But they were both unsettled when the white object, which seemed to give off its own glow, swooped in front of their car 3 more times. We never seen 2 in a row, she said. We looked at each other and went, okay, this is not an owl. What's going on here? It was then that they began to see the white lights in the sky above them. And as we're both leaning forward to the windshield, we start seeing these lights, similar to what I caught in my video, she said. We just couldn't wrap our heads around what we were seeing. It just kept moving to the east. We watched it. Okay, so they kept on watching it. I think even down here somewheres, oh, they just talk about more of like their experience with it. You can go to dailymail.com and find all of this information. But I do believe down here they even did whole charts showing the weather data, like what the clouds were, what the type of storm situation, lightning, all sorts of data they put together to try to debunk this. So here's a little montage of some of the videos. I like that she's like, I want to see more.
That took off quickly.
It's so inconsistent. That's weird, isn't it?
What in the hell?
Sounds like they're walking off in my tool shed.
That was pretty wild.
What the hell is that? That is awesome. Watch. Look at. Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. Look at. Come on, show us more.
So
Oh,
awesome
more.
until they pick you up and make bacon out of
Show
you.
us the lights in the sky.
Yeah, those last ones were pretty trippy. You know, the first one, it's still going. Those first ones, where it was foggy, almost looked like, you know, the spotlights that they put up.
That's what I was thinking. Or even like the Christmas lights right now, how people use them lasers.
But these last ones, I don't know. They were pretty trippy.
She's like, show us more. We want to see more. Be lucky and grateful for what you saw. Show me more.
Show me more.
Yeah, so I guess I didn't go online. I did not go on Facebook to look for their website or their page, but it might be an interesting, something to look at because it's recent data. Everybody talking about, at least what's going on right now.
Yeah.
Something a little different.
I don't know, man. I think we're just going to see more and more of this stuff until it's so obvious.
I think it is kind of obvious.
Yeah. It can't be denied. I don't know. We'll see. This one's not about UFOs. This one's about the crazy ass people that we live with day in and day out. You know, it's a weird, wacky, messed up world. And there's a lot of sick people in it. And this one is some of those sick people. A 6-year-old boy was found dead under floorboards in an Arkansas home. Mom and boyfriend were charged with the murder. So let's like murder the kid and then like, well, what had just happened to the picture? It melted. The technical difficulties
Glitched out.
Let's see.
It sauntered away.
It did. It sauntered quite nicely. There is it
like
back.
The pink cat.
Okay. The pink cat.
What's it called? Yeah, you know what I mean.
Pink Panther.
Yeah.
Burn.
You see dog collars, but you see cat collars.
There you go.
Well, a spot for a leash too.
Oh, nice. An Arkansas mother and her boyfriend have been charged with the murder after the body of a young boy was found buried beneath the floorboards in their house's hallway. Kind of sick bastards are these? On the night of Friday, December 16th, Arkansas State Police responded to a Morrow home where a 6-year-old boy was reportedly discovered dead beneath the floorboards. A little girl in the house was also allegedly found with injuries resembling scalp burns, according to a police statement. She has since been transported to a hospital in Memphis and is in stable condition. Children's mother, Ashley Rowland, 28, and boyfriend Nathan Bridges, 33, were arrested. They need to have their ass beat and hung from high nails in a tree with, I'm just adding that, sorry. They've been since charged with capital murder, abuse of a corpse, tampering with physical evidence, and endangering the welfare of a minor. The little boy's cause of death is still undetermined. The police statement says officials believe he died of injuries sustained in the home, possibly 3 months ago. There's a GoFundMe made by a friend of the children's grandmother. Karen writes that Karen had been trying to get custody of the two kids for more than a year and that she had last been in the home on Friday. The police claims that one of the children had allegedly had their hair cut off and was seen malnutritioned with cracked ribs. Jeez, man. What the hell's wrong with these people? It's people like this that, you know, they've been arrested. I mean, just take them out back and shoot them in the head and drop them in a hole. Is that too blunt? Don't make me the judge. Because people like that. They wouldn't be able to find their ass with both hands. Are you muted?
Oh yeah, it's probably good you didn't hear that either. like they wouldn't be able to find both hands.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's not just a story. That's real. That happened. And unfortunately, that was just one out of the list of many that I came across.
You know, I've seen a bunch of stuff too, and I just, you know, I have kind of like a couple weird ones, but not like that. But there was one where like they cement encased them in something. There's just a lot of really horrible things.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, huh?
Yeah.
Bury him in the floorboards of the house. We can get away with it. Shotgun, man. That's all you need. Just shoot him in the head. Be done.
Well, I don't know how to segue that into this, but
yeah.
Let's see. Shotgun. fossilized teeth of a megalodon ancestor found in the Indian Ocean. And the fossilized teeth is actually in the shape of the megalodon jaw that they're all standing in. How sick would that be to find?
How sick would that be to see the animal that had that jaw?
Exactly.
Green.
Holy
Yeah, man, that
Sid-
thing huge.
Oh my, look, like just literally if it swam by and opened its mouth, it'd swallow all those little guys up, as they're like snorkeling, doing whatever they're doing in the water. Just swim by with the mouth open, gone.
Yeah, there's 6 people there, and they would like be like a tidbit, like a snack for a megalodon of this size.
It probably wouldn't even want it.
Yeah, it'd be like us eating 6 jelly beans or something, Yeah, just imagine what these things had to eat just to survive.
Right.
Because 6 people sure ain't gonna fill their belly up.
No, even in one swallow, I don't think it would probably, I don't know, maybe it'd swallow it. I'd see it spitting it out. And actually, that is a mouth made for wanting to eat and tear and rip apart something big and juicy. It doesn't want these little guys.
Yeah.
But the fact is, it could swallow a group of people. That's the size. So Sydney, Australian scientists have discovered a deep ocean shark's graveyard containing the fossilized teeth of the ancient ancestor of the megalodon shark. They have also found a new species of shark. So all the time, the discoveries were made across 2 expeditions on the research vessel, which operated by Australia's National Science Agency. It has explored Australia's newest marine sanctuaries, the Cocos Islands Marine Park in the remote Indian Ocean, and the Gasconia, I know the word, I can't think of it, the marine park off the coast of Western Australia. At depths of more than 5 kilometers, researchers have recovered remnants of ancient and modern sharks, including the teeth of a 12-meter-long shark that was the closest known relative to the mighty megalodon. It's considered to have been one of the most powerful predators ever, but it died out about 3.5 million years ago. Oh, so they're talking about all these great discoveries that they've made. Not too much more about this here. So I'm assuming they made that jaw and just stuck the teeth in it?
Probably.
Because it sounds like they just found a bunch of teeth. I don't even know if that's all the teeth now.
Yeah. No, there's probably more. Yeah, that's like a replica.
Yeah, so they like just made that and then stuck the teeth in it to show yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah.
It gives you an idea.
Yeah.
It's one thing to hear it and picture it in your head, and then another just to see it.
Yeah. Craziness to know that animals existed that were that big. Scary.
And, who knows what's still out there deep, deep, deep. Some of these places, cracks of the earth, you don't know. You don't know.
Yeah.
Anything's possible. That's a cool thing. Like, anything is really possible.
Yep. The truth is out there.
Mm-hmm. And there could be all sorts of weird stuff. I mean, stuff that our brains can't even come up with.
Yeah. This was a weird little blurb. A dog walker films demon ghost during early morning park visit. I don't know what made him think it was a demon, unless, it's one of the people that everything's a demon. But the alleged entity was picked up on a camera on a dark woodland path. Clumber Park, Nottinghamshire. Wow, that's a long name. Hannah and Dave Rowett had been walking their dogs around 6:30 a.m. when Hannah became overwhelmed by a sudden, inexplicable feeling that they were not alone. Pulling out the phone, she captured a brief clip of an unidentified silhouette crossing their path. Then, rewatching it, realized she may have in fact recorded evidence of a ghost. The area itself is notorious for stories of a female spirit known as the Gray Lady, who was said to appear in the form of a figure veiled in a long gray cloak. The alleged spook captured on Hannah's phone camera, however, looks rather different, instead resembling what she has described as a demonic figure. Initially, I thought it was a dog, but then as I look at it, it's more human-type form, she said. It's quite demonic in the way it's crawling and has long limbs. I followed it with my torch, watched it back, then turned to Dave and said, I just seen a ghost and I got it on camera. I think it's such an incredible image that I wanted to share it. The clip has since racked up many thousands of views, reactions, and comments on social media, with some users being convinced that it shows something paranormal and others arguing that it's little more than a wisp of smoke. And this is a picture of it. And there was a video. It's on the YouTube channel. And you can find this on Undiscovered Mysteries, or I think that's the channel name. What is it? I don't know. I get confused. But, the video, of course, it's short. But it shows this thing right here kind of crossing the road. And in a way, it does kind of look like something's crawling across the road. But in another way, it almost looks like somebody was vaping and they blew out a vape and it just drifted across the road. So I don't know what makes it a demon. I don't know that either. It could be like the ghost of like Charlie Brown or Snoopy or,
My first impression when I looked, it's like someone hugging a toilet almost, like drinking too much, crawling in the gutter, like, ugh.
Yeah.
That was what my eyes saw. Those ink blot tests I used to have to take.
Yeah.
The horse shack. What was it? The horse shack testing. They're like, why does everything look like a run over horse to you?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Followed it with my torch, my electronic torch. I don't know. It could be something paranormal. But when I saw the video, I was kind of like, it wasn't one of those videos that I saw and was like, holy crap, look at that. I was like, kind of like, was somebody smoking?
Yeah, and wanting to like get on the Daily Mail so they can make their account go higher.
Yeah.
Some people will like link to the TikTok video and be like, oh, you were that video that I saw.
Hey, are you on TikTok?
Are you on that TikTok? The TikTok.
TikTok. I'm drinking 7 Teas Southern Strawberry Lemonade tonight.
Well, I will raise you one weird apparition that could be possibly hugging a toilet, could be positioned for other things, could be vape, and we'll give you a sinister ghost monk.
Monk?
Yes, you heard it right.
A shadowy monk.
He was a ghost monk who evaded cameras for a decade before finally getting caught on film.
Wasn't he?
So he's As a very, he has some meddling kids. He would have got away with it. Paranormal investigators believe they have finally caught a sinister ghost monk on camera. Ghost hunters have been attempting to catch the phantom at Ye Old King's Head in Chester for more than 10 years. Built in 1622, Ye Old King's Head in Chester was a brothel before being that's why I laugh. Being converted into an inn in 1714. It has gained a reputation as one of the most haunted buildings in England, with shows like Most Haunted and Sky's Paranormal captured and Ghost Adventures investigating there. Oh yeah, huh? Wait. Do y'all remember a ghost monk? I don't know. Dozens of TripAdvisor guests have also attested to seeing light orbs during their stay. It was purchased in 2012 by Harry, a paranormal enthusiast, and was later converted into a full-time ghost hunting hotspot. It was renamed My Haunted Hotel, with cameras rolling around the clock and a team of paranormal investigators, oh brother, on site to monitor any activity. You already know how I feel about this. The cameras recently captured a chair moving in the brothel area and dolls shifting in the nursery. The hotel owner previously said investigations have awakened something. Cameras have now caught a shadowy figure known as the Monk, who evaded investigators for more than a decade, and in broad daylight, too. Well, yeah, why would that make a difference? Footage captured at 2:16 p.m. in the main corridor shows the shadowy figure turning before passing towards the window and disappearing into thin air, appearing to walk the halls. Oops. So the corridor's always been like a hot spot where they hear stuff and they talk about footsteps, nothing there. So they've got the fact we have multiple cameras up there allows us to prove these events cannot be explained, meaning it's paranormal. Over the last 10 years, it's been seen in various parts of the building. We have no idea what it is, but some believe it's a monk. Others believe something more sinister. But it is the most famous ghost at My Haunted Hotel. All three of us were extremely excited whenever Danny and I got a call from Harry in the middle of the afternoon. It would potentially be an exciting, and it could potentially be an exciting capture for us. For me, this is clear evidence. So yeah, and I can see that, like, if people, here and there, like, let's go out for a couple hours and try to catch it. Dude's already listening because, like, yeah, haha, they're all gonna sit here, try to look for me for a little bit. I'm gonna chill up in the rafters, But if you have cameras non-stop, in the whole entire place, chances of catching something,
Yeah.
are drastically increased.
But like JL says, what was the monk doing at a brothel?
Yeah, like what was it before it was a brothel?
Ye old
Head.
Ye old King's Head.
Yeah, the Ye Old King's Head.
Ye old head by the king. I don't know. Strange. I don't see this one in this picture that much. Is it this kind of wispy?
I think it's that blur right there. That then go down under the circle a little bit. Yeah, down there, the little shroud. That's what I think it might be. There's another picture. I have no clue what we're looking at. Yeah, that one right here. They added that. I don't know what for. If they're just telling us it's a room, maybe that's a hot spot.
I don't know. Interesting.
And if they do have cameras running across the clock, it would be cool. Like, all right, then, like, okay, I want to see that blur. I want to see that blur move. I want to see what that camera saw when that camera saw what that camera saw.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not just that one picture. Then, like, did anything else catch it?
Exactly.
What happened before and after? You know, I want to see it before where there's nothing, then see it, and then how it left. And the camera looking at that camera, what that saw. Because it sounds like they've got that place wired up.
Yeah.
For, you know, money, obviously.
Yeah. Like Sirianna says, a monk walks into the brothel. There was a sign on the door that said, "Sorry, we're closed. Beat it."
Oh,
perfect.
That even took me a second.
Been waiting forever to use that line. Share screen. Let's do it. Here we go. 2 mystery coffins found under Notre Dame have now been opened. Hey, we found where some people were buried. Let's open it and look at them, poke them with a stick. I still think that's weird. I don't know. I've mentioned it before, but where is the line of morality versus like grave robbing? Where's the line of respect the dead versus let's dig them up and open the coffin and look at them, poke them with a stick? It's history, right? I don't know. Is it?
Like, when is it education? And when is it you're now disrupting the dead?
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I totally get it, you know, because, I mean, you can learn a lot from it. But, you know, it's like your relative dies and, you know, you put them in a box, you put them in the ground. When is it okay to dig them up? For not you, but other people to dig them up to learn about history. 10 years, 20 years, 50 years, 100 years, 200 years.
And the most ancient, they want to dig them up because they say, oh, we found stomach remain, you know, like what's in their stomach. This is going to tell us so much about all this stuff, you know. But the most ancient of things, as we've seen in all these movies, are the ones that you really don't want to mess with the most.
Yeah. Yeah, some of those mummies and stuff. I've seen the movie. I don't want to deal with that. Researchers have quite literally lifted the lid on who was buried in the coffins beneath the iconic cathedral spire. When the news broke that the iconic Parisien Cathedral had become shrouded in flames back in 2019, countries around the world united in expressing their sadness and dismay. I do remember when that happened. While the fearless efforts of firefighters ultimately managed to save the building from being totally destroyed, it'll take years to fully restore the cathedral to its former glory. There is at least one upside to the disaster, however: the discovery of previously unseen relics hidden deep within the structure. Earlier this year, excavations being carried out at the site yielded the unexpected discovery of 2 sarcophagi, okay, that nobody had even known were there. I had to take my glasses off to read that word. Fast forward to the present day, and now researchers have finally opened up the 2 coffins, or sarcophagi, which date back several centuries, to find out who they belonged to. The occupants, it turns out, were both wealthy men. The first, who was identified from a plate on the coffin itself, was Antonio de la Porta, an 83-year-old member of the clergy responsible for the cathedral, who died December 24th, 1710. Wow. The other man, meanwhile, continues to remain a bit of an enigma because there was no accompanying plate on his coffin. An explanation of his remains suggested that he was between 25 and 40 when he died, and that he had lost all of his teeth in the years prior to his death, indicating that he likely succumbed to tuberculosis. Exactly who he was and why he was buried under Notre Dame, however, continues to remain a mystery. So, I mean, it is cool to learn the history and stuff. It's still a fine line. I don't know. I mean, yeah. If I'm, out there doing research like that, probably gonna dig them up. I don't know, though. Sometimes I would just feel weird about it.
Yeah, that's one of those.
You always hear the stories about, the Egyptians and stuff being buried and all these curses and these, triggered devices in their tombs, in case, somebody came in there to try to dig them up or rob them of their riches and stuff. And, you hear all these stories. I mean, are those true, or is that just some made up mumbo jargon? I don't know.
I was thinking it has to come from something. Like, I believe a lot of that stuff stems from some sort of truth.
Yeah.
In order for them to come out with all that.
Yeah. Speaking of creepy.
Creepy. Oh, yes. This is very creepy.
You go from the dead people to living babies.
Mm-hmm. The cycle. A solution to Musk's fear of population collapse. Artificial womb facility could grow 30,000 babies a year.
Would
Billionaire Elon, what'd you say?
I was just gonna say, in today's confusing world, would they be male or female or just totally androgynous?
Yeah, like I just have these nightmare. I told you, Rob, meet, Simlish, right?
Yep.
Telling you, you heard it. Heard it here first. Billionaire Elon Musk has frequently spoken about his concerns about underpopulation. He has mentioned that people should focus on having more babies to resolve the problem of low birth rates and population collapse, which there's a lot more to it right now besides just, people not focusing on the babies. It's that the men are having lower fertility rates. There's something wrong with their sperm and their testosterone. Women are having menstrual cycle issues, and a lot of really weird things have been happening in the reproductive systems over the past few years. Earlier this year, he shared how the COVID-19 pandemic has resulted in a lower birth rate instead of the baby boom expected due to people being focused to stay indoors. And on that, I know a lot of family members and people who actually had babies. Like, I know a crap load of people who got pregnant during the pandemic. Do you?
Mm-hmm.
So when they say that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
I have like 4 pandemic babies right now. Not relatives, like cousins.
Yep.
Now, a birthing facility could answer Musk's concerns about the world's low birth rates. The world's first artificial womb facility, Ectolife, promises to produce customized babies.
Just too
Film producer and biotechnologist Hashim Al-Ghali have created the technology which would allow women who have had their uteruses removed to procreate, while also reducing premature births, combating population declines, reports the Daily Mail. Running on renewable energy, the facility plans to house 75 labs, each equipped with up to 400 growth pods or artificial wombs. The pods are designed to replicate the real-life conditions of the mother's womb and include sensors that monitors a baby's vital, like heartbeat, temperature, and oxygen saturation. Ectolife aims to grow up to 30,000 babies a year inside its birthing pods. Oh my God. Al-Ghali says the concept is based on 50 years of groundbreaking scientific research conducted by researchers worldwide, and such birthing pods could be widespread in just decades from now. Al-Ghali believes that artificial womb facilities could become a reality in 10 years if ethical restrictions are removed. We need these ethical restrictions for a reason.
Yep.
And that's my scary thing, is the fact that ethics are changing so drastically in this country that right now people who think things like abusing animals is wrong, hurting children is wrong, hurting elderly is wrong, having sex with children is wrong. That is wrong. Well, that's what we think. If the majority all of a sudden decides all this stuff is okay, we're on the smaller end of that. We're the minority. And all of a sudden the morals have shifted to where all of a sudden this crap is okay.
Yeah. It's a weird world we're living in.
We need to keep these ethical morals.
Yeah.
So they say, according to the report, an elite package would allow people to genetically engineer the embryo before implanting it into the artificial womb. And don't get me wrong, yeah, there are people like say they don't want to have a surrogate mother. I'm not knocking if you have like a pod somewhere in a Kaiser and it's for a special circumstance and these family have tried everything in the world to do this and that, and she's of age, it's not some crazy age where, they're gonna die way before the kids, and they decide, we can use this external womb. That I don't have a problem with. Okay, this seems insane. Elite package to genetically engineer the embryo before implanting it into the artificial womb. Also, parents can select their baby's level of intelligence, height, eye color, hair, physical strength, and skin tone. Al-Ghali says every single feature mentioned in this concept is 100% science-based and has already been achieved by scientists and engineers. So are there these kids already running around?
Might be.
The only thing left is building a prototype by combining all the features into a single device. He was quoted by saying to the Mirror, Al-Ghali claims the artificial womb facility can help countries facing the problem of declining populations such as Japan, Bulgaria, South Korea, among others. In terms of time frame, it depends on the ethical guidelines. Right now, research on human embryos is not allowed beyond 14 days. After 14 days, embryos must be destroyed due to ethical concerns, he adds. So, yay or nay on these birthing pods?
I think I would take a pass. I mean, you got, what was it, the elite package or whatever. I mean,
It's
what's
like
the
The Sims. You're designing a child.
yeah. I mean, the human body, two people come together, make a baby, and the female's body pretty much builds that baby the way it's like supposed to be. Sure, things can happen, and I could see a point of a whatever you want to call these things, birthing pod thing to grow a baby. I could see the potential of making, I don't know, it just seems like cheating. It seems like,
Or for some rare like instance of some sort where they might have to do something drastic.
yeah, I don't know, it's like just too much God roll going on, too much God play, too much interference in the natural way of life.
Look what already the soy children have, look what happened to the soy kids. The kids, they don't want breast milk, all grew up on soy. Just not the same type of children being raised, just
Yeah.
a lot weaker. You need the protein, you need the certain things, you need the stuff from the mother's nutrients, like the mother eats, like you get certain nutrients. It's not the same. You can't, I mean, you can, but you need that. It's not meant to be this way. And this is just to a level it's scary.
Yeah, like my generation, your generation, and then, maybe a little bit of the younger generation. That's like the last people to, I don't know, man. Kids and everything are just changing.
They're already saying like pandemic babies are like, I mean, smarter. Like they're talking at like 4 months old and stuff, like saying these words and stuff. Like these pandemic babies, like people are saying, are like totally smart. And oh, I forgot my point.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just, and kids these days, man.
Oh, what's the point? Okay, so like, you have AI and you get these like robots, right? And these people basically pick out all these same things again, like Sims, but for their perfect robot mate, AI mate.
Yeah.
But what they're doing, then you have this stuff where you could cross, they're freezing human heads and stuff like that. So later on, when they have the memories put into these heads, like, can they create a clone of this or that? Well, now they're just bypassing it and just creating an actual human AI. Like that's not a Homo sapien. That's not a human.
Yeah, I just look at a lot of kids these days, not all of them, but the majority of them. And I think, holy shit, man, these are the people that are, going to be running the world.
And they're saying Gen Z is freaking out that they actually don't have the tech skills that they seem like you'd think that they would have, like are doing horribly in like office jobs and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, the majority, again, not all kids. There's some good ones out there.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, a lot of them, they don't want to work. They don't, they don't want to conform to society. They hate being told no. They can't handle being, told no.
Yeah. Or that they can't, that there's a consequence that they're not special.
Yeah. Like I said before, I mean, when I was growing up, I was a kid. There was none of that. coaches, teachers, none of them gave a shit about hurting your feelings. They just told you like it was.
Mm-hmm.
And, it didn't turn me into an axe murderer,
You suck it up.
Yeah.
It's like, I guess you're right. Oh, shit.
You may got your feelings hurt, but that's part of life. That's part of growing up. That's part of finding your identity, It's like when you're told, no, you can't do that because you suck at it. You need to find something else you're good at because this ain't it, kid. God, if you did that to a kid nowadays, you would just crush their spirit.
Probably have them taken away from you.
Yeah. The kids nowadays, they won't drink out of a water faucet, or God knows you can't drink out of the hose. Anything. They're so powder puffed.
Mm-hmm.
You see,
Just sterile.
go to the emergency room. I mean, when I was a kid, I went to the emergency room twice when I was a kid. One of them was because I got hit in the head with a chunk of concrete and it cut an artery in my head.
Oh,
And my head squirting blood like a fountain.
Oh, no.
And the other one was when I wiped out, busted my ass on my brand new bike. Wham! I hit my concrete. I hit my concrete head on the concrete. And I had a big, huge hematoma. I looked like a freaking dark unicorn. So my mom took me to the emergency room then. Other than that, I had, cuts, where I needed stitches. I needed, all kinds of stuff. My mom would be like, whack, slap some mercurochrome or some iodine. You prayed for the mercurochrome because the iodine burned like a bitch. But yeah, they just do that, slap a Band-Aid on, send you back out to play. Nowadays, I go to the emergency room.
Some Bactine and a Band-Aid. Booyah. Yeah.
Go to the emergency room now. What's the matter? I fell off my bike and I scraped my knee. You're in the emergency room for that? You pussy.
My feelings are hurt.
Yeah.
I didn't get an award.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know, man. I look at kids nowadays and I'm just like, damn, man. Really? And I
feel bad.
I went and did a volunteered earlier this summer with a thing for disc golf, and we went to a school, bunch of little kids, and showed them how to play disc golf and like set up, baskets and stuff, and had them throwing discs in the baskets, giving them the basic rules of the game. And there was, like 30 kids in a group. And right when we went outside, it was hot. It's hot outside. I mean, when I was in school, I didn't give a shit if it was 2,000 degrees outside. If it's recess, you get a chance to go outside, you're taking it, A bunch of these kids, like at least, 4 or 5 out of each group were like, it's hot. I want to go back inside. I want to go watch videos, and that the teacher was like, if you go inside, you're not coming back out. And they were like, cool. So
brother.
A few of the kids went back inside, and the teacher, she's just like, I don't believe these kids. I was like, yeah, I know.
That was like a punishment. It was like kind of like more of a punishment for our parents, though. But the biggest thing in the world was go to your room.
Yeah.
Go to my room. Like, no, go to your room. I don't want to go to my room. And yeah, we have we have our stuff in there, but you don't want to go to your room. Your friends are out there. You're like looking through the window out there. They're looking at you. The rain coming down. Like, how long you got? I don't know. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow, maybe past dinner. And you're making hell for your parents, but you wanted to be out of the house. You wanted to be riding your bike. You wanted to be screwing around. getting in a fun trouble and just exploring, and you just being
Yeah.
in your room wasn't a thing.
Wow, that you wanted to be.
Yeah. Like that's where you went, like at nighttime when you had like a summer party, like, and you had to,
Yeah.
and we still pitched tents on the lawn, like the whole summer. Me and my friend Rachel, in high school, lived in the backyard, pitched a tent right by the pool,
Yep.
brought my stereo out there, all this stuff, came in, used the bathroom and eat, but we lived outside.
Yeah. Yeah.
Plus
Now,
the fence was right there.
because they're on nowadays, no Wi-Fi. What am I supposed to do? I mean, I admit, when my Wi-Fi went out for a day or two, kind of freaking out. But then I was like, hey, what do I need Wi-Fi? I can get on the bike and go for a ride. I can go here. I can go outside. I can go work on this or whatever. It doesn't take me long to
Change directions.
Yeah. I mean, at first, it's a shock. It's like, oh shit, I can't check Facebook. I can't check the weather. I can't check. And then I'm like, dude, you used to go
Like,
fishing.
I was just about to look this up. I was about to go do that and that.
I remember when I used to go out in my boat for like 3 days at a time with nothing. Nobody even knew where the hell it was at.
Flip phone shut off.
Yeah, that's why I got the name Phantom, because I would just disappear like off the face of the earth. Nobody knew where I was at. I'd be out in my boat for days at a time, just living off the land. No phone. The closest thing I had was smoke signals.
Yeah.
But no, I admit, I mean, you got a phone. It goes everywhere you go, Stupid. You're addicted to it. I'm addicted to it. I still have friends, though, that are old schoolers that are like, I ain't getting a smartphone. I ain't carrying that dumb shit, lagging me down, tracking me everywhere I go. One friend, he came back from Desert Storm, and he's been a little unstable since then, but yeah, he is like totally off the grid, like no cell phone, no computer in his house, no nothing. Like he don't even like his picture being taken. He could have taken his picture and he's like, oh no, I prefer not. No.
My cousin's still like, he can find porn, on the computer. He can turn it on. We taught him how to find porn. That's all he cares to find on it. Sometimes YouTube videos, but that's what he does on the computer. And he's got like an old phone. He's fine. He never wanted technology, never got into it, never, he's like 6 years older than me, and he's happily, fine without it.
Yep.
But yeah, I like it for a point, and there's things to it, and like 8-year-old Jamie would have liked a lot of these things, but I still see ourselves at that time doing those other things that we were doing, because we kind of had the taste of, we had like little bits of this stuff already, we had the idea of these things. We just crossed over to where it became so much, and we still chose these things. I was actually watching like a TikTok video earlier where they do those experiments on kids, like you give a baby an egg, and like naturally the kids are supposed to like realize they're delicate, and they usually will take really, really good care of it, like just instinct, and not break the egg. I've seen a few but most of the time they'll be really, really careful with it. But the funny thing was, when the mom went to give her the egg, the girl, 3, 2.5, slams the iPad down, more breakable, and grabs the egg and takes it all delicately. And she's walking around. She's even sitting down, like looking down at it, kind of like I think she was trying to maybe lay it, like, or either sit next to her or sit on it. But and the mom said like the kid's usually pretty aggressive, like off subject, but it was cute. But it's funny, like, but she said F that, when she's seen something else, was like, wow, what is that compared to the stupid iPad?
Yeah.
And see kids like these little tiny babies like know to walk up to a camera, and do like a little thing. They're watching what parents are doing. They know like the way they play. Like when we're little, we take a little thing pretending it was like a phone, like our parents on their phone, pretending, oh, I got a call for you, that kind of crap. Well, now you see babies taking a phone and they're putting it like up on a windowsill, like, and me from having a child development background, like I'm knowing like why their brains are doing these things and what they're absorbing and where they're getting it from. And so they're repeating what they're seeing and imitating it and putting it up on the platform. They know the parents put it up there, and then they know they do something stupid in front of it. And these kids are learning like that's a thing that people do. And it just drives me insane.
Yeah.
And that's me on the soapbox when it comes to the family TikTok videos are cute to get the family involved, but when you're like telling a kid, come on, let's get this dance, we gotta look cute for everybody to get a lot of views, getting everybody a dance and matching pajamas and all that crap, that they don't want to be doing that. Kids don't need to be doing your TikTok videos. And the commercial that says kids are your biggest investment, protect them. Kids are not an investment.
Yeah.
There was an actual commercial saying that children are your biggest investments and to protect your biggest investment. Talking about riding a bike. You could teach your kid to ride a bike, or you could teach them how to buy the bike, own the bike company. It's like, no, you teach them how to ride the damn bike. Teach them how to save their money. But
yeah. Back to what I was saying. I see kids these days and I'm like, oh shit, we're doomed. We're doomed. Well, this one isn't about being doomed, but it's the voice of something not human. This is more of a story than an actual article.
Ooh.
It's not too terribly long, but it has a little creepiness to it. Is it true? I don't know. You decide. The story was submitted to the site by a redacted file from Baldwin Hills, Los Angeles, California. Out there where Jamie lives, on the West Coast. We used to visit my grandparents in LA for Christmas growing up. The top floor bedroom of their LA home still housed beds of my great grandpa and grandma. My parents would stay in these beds when we would visit for Christmas. The bed that was my great grandfather's had a stain from the wax that he would wear in his hair still on the fabric cushion of the headboard. In his bed, no one could sleep in without feeling like something was standing over you watching you. I was home alone taking a shower in the upstairs bathroom and smelled old school pipe tobacco. And there was nobody smoking in there. My grandfather used to take a Polaroid picture of the table set for Christmas dinner, often while listening to Frank Sinatra. One time, there was a large white mist floating above the table in the picture when it developed. I used to wake up early in the morning and eat various leftovers while I would watch Saturday morning cartoons. One morning, shortly before Christmas, I tiptoed up the wooden stairs from my room on the main level of the house to ask my father if I could eat something out of the fridge. I remember it being very dark in my parents' room, and I did not see my father in his bed as I peered through the banister. I walked back down to the main level of the house toward the kitchen past the front door. Just before the kitchen and to the right of the study was a door along the long white hallway that led down to a lower level of the house that contained the laundry room, downstairs apartment, and the door to the outdoor pool. I opened the door facing the long hallway. I mustered up the courage in my 10-year-old self to squeak out in a high-pitched voice asking, "Dad, are you down there?" I instantly knew I was not alone. I felt an electric, tingly chill and was filled with a sense that I should not have asked that question and that I should escape as quickly as possible. What I heard back gives me goosebumps to this day. I heard a terrible hissing and powerful voice say, which I could hear with both my ears, but also felt as it was reverberating through my mind and my very soul. The voice said, "No." Scared does not cover what I felt. Primal consciousness, altering sheer terror would be more accurate. Slamming the door, I ran to my room. I then slammed that door and dove underneath the false security of my covers. I waited for 3 hours wide awake until my father entered the room. Confused to why I was not out playing, and I already awoke wondering, what does this say? I was not out already awake watching Transformers or G.I. Joe. I told him what had happened, and he talked me into following him downstairs so that I could see that he could prove that there was no one in my closet or space, no one downstairs that could have possibly done such a thing. This pointless act was equally as terrifying, as I was in no doubt about what I just heard. Of course, we didn't find anything, so I was left confused and terrified with only questions. The feeling of dread and the certainty that we were not actually alone as we thought we were. Years later, when I was about 17, excuse me, my father admitted that when he was down there playing as a kid, he would hear voices, but he couldn't understand what they were saying. And he would hear people walking up and down the stairs that weren't there. I know what you're thinking. Someone was waiting downstairs in a closet all night just to scare me, or maybe it was some walkie-talkie in the house or something. The house had an alarm which made a loud audible beep throughout the house, so no one else got in or was attempting to hide downstairs. There was no baby monitors or other technology in use. A walkie-talkie would have not performed the perfect echoing sound, and not the feeling of terror that I felt. Only someone who has experienced the electric chill of an experience with a ghost can understand the tangibility of this feeling. Lastly, and most importantly, even at that age, I know a human voice when I hear it, and this was not one. I heard the voice of something that was not human, maybe a demon, maybe an angry ghost, who knows, but it still chills me to this very day. And I know that feeling. The first feeling that it's almost like when you get like close to an old school TV and you feel that like that staticky feeling.
You have to like wipe it with your sleeve first before you touch it, or you get that zap. Hair sticks to it.
Yeah, you can feel like your hair kind of standing up. It's like a weird electrical feel, even though there's nothing electric anywhere near you, you know. I've had that before, and I don't know. I mean, you don't know what it is. You can't pinpoint it and say exactly what it is, but you feel like you're being watched. You get that creeped out feeling, you know. I mean, what could it be? Especially if you're in an area where there is no electrical or anything. You know, I can see if you're in a basement or something and there's, you know, electrical wires running, you know, over your head or whatnot. I mean, that can cause weird feelings, but I've been in places where there is no electric and all of a sudden you just feel that weird static.
I mean, you can see your hair sometimes. You stand up like on your arm and stuff.
Yeah.
Or it feels like it's either like you get like that internal, like that chill on the inside. Sometimes you just go like, like all this, that weird, like chill that comes out of nowhere.
Yep.
Or it feels like sticky, like the sticky cobwebs on your arm, like the big sticky, or that, like if when you rub the balloon on your hair and then like run it across your, like rub it on a wall or your hair.
Yeah.
to get a steak, or you go like this on your arm and the little hairs would stand up.
Yeah, I've been on, ghost tours and stuff, like helping out on ghost tours, and people, sometimes people will ask, what does it feel like if a ghost touches you? And, a lot of times I'll kind of refer to that, or like what you just said, like cobwebs, like touching you or something. It's, it's rare that it feels like something grabs you, although that can happen.
You can feel like the pressure sometimes of like the actual, it's like
Yeah.
a pressure touch.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I kind of related to that story, not that, that exact same thing has happened to me, but I've been in that situation, that, that predicament several times, especially when I was growing up, that, even like later on in years, I've been in a few situations where I just had that feeling like I gotta leave right now, or something bad's gonna happen. It's like, you always using the ghost box or whatever, you hear, get out or whatever. But yeah, when that really happens, you don't hear get out. You just know, it's time to get out.
Well, like even at the park, it's kind of creepy out there and all that, and there's bats and stuff out there. But I'll start walking in and I usually feel fine, but sometimes you get like the bad vibe and it's kind of creepy. But like I'll go in there and all of a sudden, like the other day I was walking up and like this bat like went to hit me by the face and then just like flew off. Like it stopped me, like, well, what the heck, it made me feel like it was wanting me to go back out the park. And I thought, what, are you trying to push me out of the park? And all of a sudden the bat kind of pushed me back out again. And I thought I should probably leave. And then all of a sudden, like, this creepy dude comes up from like the back way of the park where I would have been standing, like coming down. So I felt like something was telling me I should leave the park at that moment. And sure enough.
Yep. Yeah. Is that your own intuition? Is that a guardian angel? Is, it could be several of different things.
Yeah, a little of both. It was just weird the way the bat like distracted, like caused me to stop and think like, what? Why are you, pushing me down the thing like that?
Yeah.
And then my whole vibe just changed.
Yeah. It's like the other day, when I got hit in the car. I, like the day before, I was almost in a serious like slammer car crash. I missed it by inches. And, over the last few days, I'd had several things like that happen. And I'm like, I'm getting to the point of like, holy shit, I don't like driving anymore, especially after dark, and I had these visions in my head of, I'm going to get in a wreck. I'm going to get in a wreck. And I don't know if I brought it on myself by thinking about it or what, but sure enough, the other night, fucking out of nowhere, dude comes blazing through an intersection, wham, slams right into me. Darcy was in the car and she's like, see, if we were talking about getting something to eat somewhere, and it was one of those typical couples, where you want to go? I don't know. Wherever you want to go. Well, how about here? I don't want to go there. How about here? I don't want to get, so it's like, we're just making our way home because neither one of us could make a freaking decision. And then that happens. And then she's like, see, if we'd have stopped and got something to eat, we wouldn't have been in a wreck. And I'm like, yes, you are correct.
Yeah.
At that point, I would have settled for freaking Burger King instead of being in a wreck. But that wasn't the case.
Or sometimes things happen that prevents you from getting a wreck. This weird thing happened before and it made us like stop, and then all of a sudden we passed this horrible thing we thought, holy crap, if we wouldn't have stopped and had to turn that 1 second, that would have been us like right there.
Yep. Yeah, I've had several of those.
Those are Crazy. Like, that's where you're like, oh, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've had several things where, I made a wrong turn or I just stopped to grab a coffee or a drink or something and hop back in the car and like get to a point where if you would have been there 5 minutes earlier, could have been you laying on the floor bleeding, So who knows?
Let's see what I got coming up next. A suicide bomber blows himself up over a new law banning sex outside of marriage. So I just thought this was insanely crazy. People are doing a lot of like really crazy things right now. A convicted bomb maker and Muslim militant has blown himself up, killing one police officer and wounding 11 people. He detonated 2 bombs he was carrying. Don't want to get into these parts of it. A total of 10 officers and 1 civilian were wounded in the attack, which appears to have been motivated by a recent law change outlawing sex outside of marriage. Said outlawing came under a new code that also ruled out the legality of offending or insulting the president, which prompted Suhano, who was released from prison last year, to detonate explosive devices. Papers attached to him, who was killed in the explosion, are said to have read, "Criminal code is the law of infidels. Let's fight the satanic law enforcers." The 34-year-old had been on a red list for police due to his rejection of the government's some program. So anyways, this guy goes, kills himself, and injures a whole bunch of other people, hurting other people, and what killed some other people.
But he wants.
Killing a police officer, wounding 11 people, all because of this law.
And he wants to fight that law. But now he done blown himself up, so he ain't fighting a damn thing.
Just seems like people's reasonings and like what happened to sleep on it, just sleep on it before you send that just sleep on it. People are doing insane things, just losing it.
Yeah.
More than ever.
Yeah. Again, can't be told no.
Yeah.
He's bummed. Can't have sex outside of the marriage. Well, 1, either don't get married, or 2, don't get caught. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. Don't mention it. Don't say, hey, I'm going to fight your law. I'm going to have sex. You just watch. And it's not going to be with my wife.
Just don't do it in a place where you're going to, don't be out there on the beach or whatever the hell. Just do your due, I don't know. I don't know if you have any others. I have one last one. Real life Grinch. Real quick. Women arrested after breaking into Robert De Niro's apartment, stealing his Christmas presents. Women allegedly broke into actor Robert De Niro's Upper East Side townhouse early Monday morning and began snatching up Christmas presents from under his tree, according to police. Shanice, 30, was arrested on burglary charges after she was spotted entering De Niro's home at 12:45 a.m., police said. Oh, and I didn't show you her face. This is the Grinch that stole De Niro's Christmas. Police were following her before because she was wanted in connection with 6 other burglaries. Police sources described her as a some sort of activist who had just been arrested. She was arrested for 7 burglaries around that area, 26 prior arrests, including 16 for burglaries and some other smaller things. So, yeah, hearing the commotion. Okay, so she. Early Monday morning, police saw her entering a townhouse on East 65th Street. When she did not come out, police entered the home and saw her taking presents from under the Christmas tree and putting them into a bag, just like the Grinch. Hearing the commotion, De Niro came down the stairs. Police did not know it was his house until he appeared. The chick was arraigned Tuesday on a charge of second-degree burglary, and her bond was set at $40,000 cash. She did not enter a plea. She'll report to court December 23rd. There was no interaction between the actor and the alleged thief. And then they talk about De Niro. So, yes, he had his Christmas saved from the Grinch that tried to steal it.
If you utter so much as one syllable, I'll hunt you down and gut you like a fish. If you'd like to fax me, press the star key.
Was it that Grinch?
Could have been.
Oh, she should have kicked De Niro in the nuts. I don't like that little Weasley.
I don't either, but I just thought it was just funny.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, I know he's just a person, he's just a person just like me and you, puts his pants on the same way, puts his shoes on the same way. But, you wonder how like people break into these like big fancy movie stars, millionaires' houses like so easy.
Right?
Like a rental or something that he was staying in, but still, they got security systems, but some crazy lunatic can just waltz in and steal all the presents from under the tree. It's like, what the hell?
Well, he's just like upstairs doing whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. Strange. Yeah, I keep hearing all these crazy stories about Paul Pelosi and the guy that broke in his house. Now they're saying, he didn't break in. He was trying to break out because he was a sex slave.
See, that's what I was saying from the beginning. And remember when Mr. Pelosi got into that DUI accident, they said the airbag was detonated on the other side because someone was sitting there, but where was the other person at?
Yeah.
Got out and ran. Why? They didn't want to know who was in the car with them because it was either that dude or another dude.
Yeah. He was honking the
Pelosi was doing funny stuff because he has money, and he was using people that he felt would probably not be as inclined to think to get him on it, try to blackmail him or
give him some hush money.
Mm-hmm.
Let me play with your dingleberries.
Yeah, let me get you some Grubhub and, the whole underwear thing and in the bedroom. Come on.
Yeah. That's just creepy. But then again, he is married to Nancy. So,
right.
I'd probably have some gay homeless dude in the house other than her, too.
Well, the whole fact that he is married to Nancy made it seem so much more believable to me. Like, why not? For one thing, you're married to Nancy. And another thing, you're married to Nancy.
Yeah. Poor bastard.
He's going to go outside that marriage no matter what.
Wow. Yeah. And on that note, yep, I don't think I got any more. Nope. I did have a weird one happen today. Well, like I said, it's been raining here and been misty and crappy and cold. And I was like, I've been trying to like do, release a YouTube video once a week or so. It's hard to, and so
Doing pretty good.
yeah, I wanted to do a bike video. It sucks. The weather sucks. It's cold. It's raining. So I'm like, okay, I'll just do one in the house. So I'm doing one in the house today, just on bleeding hydraulic brakes on a bike. And as I'm filming, you don't see it, but you hear it in the video. As I'm filming, I'm standing there talking. Bam! My front door opens on its own and closes on its own. I just look over and I'm like, the hell? Well, you heard that. You didn't see it, but you heard it. Weird.
Wait, what? So
my glass and screen heavy.
Wait, was it windy?
Not really. I mean, not
And
windy enough.
What kind of latch? Like the handle you push down, normal. This kind of.
Well, yeah, it's the lever handle. I mean, it could have been the wind, but I don't know. It wasn't like very windy, and
Does that ever happen normally?
Not like that. I mean, I hear it, if it's windy, I hear it make noises sometimes, and if it's windy and I have the main door shut for some reason, you hear that, you hear the wind sound.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't like that today. It was just kind of overcast, chilly, foggy, wasn't like super windy or anything.
I think that things like that too, that are easier to, manipulate are things that things can use because it is already easier to manipulate.
Yeah. Debbie says, did I hear about the old ship they found at the Daytona shores that was uncovered after all the sand was washed away from the two hurricanes? Yeah, I did. They found another one. Well, I won't say they found another one. They did find one up here that had not been previously discovered. And there's also one that is here that has been uncovered a couple of times. They know about, but yeah, it came, I won't say it came back out, but the sand got washed away and its bones were exposed as well. But yeah, the one down there was quite a big one. I think that you sent me that article, Jamie, about the thing that was uncovered on the beach and they didn't know exactly what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, have they said any more about what it was or when it was from?
I thought I've seen a follow-up somewhere, but I don't personally know.
Yeah. It's weird. The one that's here that has been uncovered several times. I did a story on it, I don't know, 6 months ago or so. But it was uncovered from one of the storms, and they basically covered it back up just to preserve it because they said if they dug it up, like they've dug up several that are at the Lighthouse Maritime Museum, and but if they said if they dug this one up, it would basically just fall apart because of the air and the elements and stuff. So they just let it get covered back up. They know where it's at, and they're going to leave it there.
So I opened Google trending for a second. Does this say vagina on a chip?
Vagina on a chip.
For drug testing, first vagina on a chip will help researchers test drugs. We'll save that for the next Wednesday.
Okay.
Hearing it here first.
Vagina on chips. Before.
Not on chip.
The dipping sauce.
Oy vey.
Wow.
Maybe a mild salsa.
Yeah.
And some scoops.
some sort of cheese dip.
Oh, a charcuterie board. Or no, fondue.
Fondue. There you go. Chocolate fountain.
Careful with those. Oh.
Yikes. Wolfie says, Rob, that's a cool bike. I saw you reviewed on YouTube. Very cool. My ride has truck tires on it. Yeah. I've been into the bikes lately.
Truck tires.
I almost bought a truck a while back. Sucks. I got a bike rack for my van. The day I put it on there, I get my, I get the trailer hitch put on the van, get the bike rack all put together, put on the van. I used it one time to haul the bike around a little bit. Works great. Okay, now I can put a couple bikes on there and I can go hit these trails and stuff. All of a sudden, my van is like engine light comes on. And I hear it like knock, 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 making this weird noise. So shit. So I turn around, go back, park the van. I got to get in the other car now. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to change. I planned on changing the oil anyways. So I go up to O'Reilly's, I'm going to go up there and pick up oil and a filter. I already bought a filter, but I got the wrong one. So I had to buy another one. And of course, just like the Warner Brothers Prague, not going to sing, I get in the van, turn, crank it up. There's no engine light. It's running perfect. And they said, yeah, we can hook the computer up, but if there's no lights on, if there's no engine light or anything, it's not going to show anything. So yeah, no engine light, no nothing, running perfect like a top. Yeah. Change the oil. I gotta say, it's the easiest car I've ever changed the oil in. Other than I'm under it, pull the plug. I got my pan, my oil pan that I bought last time when I was at O'Reilly's when I changed oil in the other car. And I got the oil, you undo the plug. Had it lined up perfect. The oil's going right in the pan. Didn't have to move it. There's no oil going in the driveway or anything. I'm all proud of myself. Then I look, there's a freaking hole in the corner of the pan, and it's just going in the top and just running out the bottom all in the driveway.
Hoo-hoo.
Yeah. So once again, Fat Rob under the car. Fuck that son of a bitch. Throwing out all the cuss words. My neighbors are probably like, oh, there he goes again. Crazy fat long-haired guy losing it under the car. Yeah. Another day in the life.
Damn.
Debbie says they're thinking the one down here is from the 1700s. Man, imagine that. You think I always, bring up, hey, we went to the moon. Did we go to the moon? I don't know if we did or not. 50 years ago in some rattle trap rocket held together with baling wire and tinfoil, maybe a hair tie and some duct tape.
Some zip tie and some duct tape, some electric tape.
But think about these people. Yeah. Think about these people crossing the ocean in the 1700s in a wooden ship. They were pretty badass. Got to give them that.
People escaped Alcatraz in the uniforms that were sewed together.
Yeah. What's his name? Frank? Yeah, sewed, what did they do? Sewed raincoats together?
Melted it, I think,
yeah.
Melted them together and make like a raft.
Do you think those guys all drowned, or do you think they actually escaped?
I don't know, but we keep getting like these weird letters and weird facts. Like recently something came out to where they very well, like at least a couple of them could have very well made it.
Yeah.
At least two of them.
Yep.
I like to kind of think they did. I don't know.
Yeah. It was a good movie. Old Clint Eastwood. Man, he's still kicking. Oh, I don't know how much he's kicking, but he's still breathing.
That's what matters.
Get off my lawn. As unpolitically correct as that movie was, that last one he was in, what was it, El Camino or something? I forget the name of it. It was pretty awesome.
I don't know that I saw that one.
Oh man, you got to see that one. You swamp monkeys, get off my lawn. It's just like his neighbors, like he called them every name in the book. It was hilarious, but he ends up befriending one of them.
No.
All of them actually, but yeah, he's the grumpy, get off my lawn, grumpy old guy. Yeah, it was a good movie. Spooks. Yeah, he called him every name in the book. Very non-PC, exactly. That's probably why I like the movie so much. Well, it's almost 2. Yeah, Falling Down, man. That was an awesome movie too. Just trying to get to my daughter's birthday party.
I gotta get broke down, and then I have to get this corner cleaned up again for AT&T to come back again tomorrow morning. This time at 8 to 12.
Yeah.
To hopefully fix this problem.
Don't you love how they give you that 4 to 6 hour window where you just like you're in purgatory. You can't go anywhere because you got to wait for the cable guy or the phone guy or whatever it is.
Then they keep pushing it up. And if you do happen to leave, like not even 4.5 minutes, you come back, that sticker's on your door. You're like, no, I just ran down to the corner to drop off a letter.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, that happens. To me, I was expecting a package a while back. You know, I've been here all day, had to sign for it all day, hanging out. I ran out to the store, gone like 15 minutes. As soon as I left, I get a text. Hey, FedEx here. We're here at your house, and there's nobody to sign. Stay there. I'll be back in 5 minutes. But anybody doing anything special for Christmas since it's going to be, what, in 3 days now? I don't know what happened. I lost you there for a minute.
I lost chat and I lost all my stuff.
Oh, weird. Weirdness. It's like, hey, it's the end of the show. You're going to sign off whether you want to or not.
I was saying, like, good night to everybody and wishing everybody a happy Merry Christmas and Happy New Year and blah, 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 blah. And all of a sudden, I don't know what happened.
Yep.
I'm just going to have a chill day.
Because I'm with you.
Because I'm with you. Remember that? Remember that part? Nick the Nazi?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to jail, motherfucker.
Whoa. Anyways, yeah. Anybody doing anything groovy special for Christmas? Apparently, I'm going to be here freezing my butt off. in winter wonderland of Florida. Zero. No thanks. Miss Wolfie's making a big pot of soup. That's what I actually made tonight, right before the show. Was a big, huge, honking pot of vegetable beef soup.
Yeah.
Yep, I ate a bowl of it right before the show, and I'm gonna go eat another bowl of it now.
Sounds like a plan.
It has broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, green beans, peas, zucchini, yellow squash, onions, ground beef. That might be it. It was one of those make a soup with whatever the hell's in the freezer or the cupboard.
Sometimes those can be the best.
Yep, it was going to be chili. And then Darcy was like, I got a sore throat. I want soup. I was like, okay, divert plans. The ground beef that was going in the chili is now going in soup. And I had just bought vegetable stock at the grocery. Oh, man. I'm waiting for the turkeys to go back down. They were like 49 cents a pound when I bought one at Thanksgiving. I got a 20-pound turkey for like $10. Now a 20-pound turkey is like $40.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that when you got that price then. I was like, what? That's crazy. Because like it was like $13 for like, the turkey breast. But that was still a big turkey breast.
Yeah.
I can't remember how much it was. I don't know how you're getting turkey so cheap over there.
Yeah. Well, it ain't cheap right now. It's back up to like $2, $1.99 a pound or something. How much are eggs in here, man? Eggs is a great debate. I'm on Facebook under the great debate of eggs. Eggs at Publix were like $8 for a dozen. It was ridiculous. And
Farm fresh, like organic or just regular damn eggs?
just regular eggs, like just regular run of the mill eggs.
Like those whatever brand, Sunnyside.
Yep. Yeah, so I was getting eggs from a friend of mine who has a bunch of chickens, but then it started getting cool and the chickens were like, oh, hell no, we ain't laying eggs. So he didn't have enough eggs to sell me. And I was paying $5 a dozen for like, eggs right out of the chicken's butt. That was a great deal. And then eggs went up and eggs got crazy stupid. And there's a big Facebook post about it. Like everybody's posting how much the eggs are and how much Publix has been charging for eggs. And I'm like, oh, it ain't just Publix. It's Winn-Dixie. It's everywhere. Aldi has cheap eggs and Walmart.
I noticed even out here it was high. Like, I'm like, what? I used to get like the 24-pack extra large eggs and all that.
Yeah.
That was like, I don't even remember.
But I'm in Walmart the other night, and I'm like, I need to get, a dozen and a half eggs because I'm going to make like deviled eggs and stuff for Christmas dinner. And I like to have them in the fridge, for like a week ahead of time because they just seem to peel better if they're a little bit older. But you can buy a dozen and a half eggs at Walmart, and it wasn't terrible. It was like $7 or something, $8. Or you can buy 60 eggs for $16.
Oh, and the big crate is yeah.
Big ass box of 60 eggs for
Mhm.
$6. I mean, that's a hell of a deal. But what are you going to do with 60 eggs all at once?
Exactly, unless you're having hella people over camping.
Yeah.
Omelets.
Yeah, omelets and boiled eggs. You can boil up a bunch just for
Easter.
Yeah. But yeah, the great egg debate. They're expensive as hell here. That's for sure. They were up to like a dozen and a half was over $10 at the grocery store the other day. Nuts. I went in the grocery store today and I came out with, I think, 4 plastic bags full of groceries. It was $93.
Sounds about right.
Ridiculous.
It's about $50 a full like plastic bag of whatever fits in the bag. It's about $53 like a grocery bag out here.
Gee. Redonkulous. Make a quiche, exactly. Throw them. That's what I was going to say, Wolfie. Throw them at the neighbor's house. All right. We're just rambling on at this point. It's after 2 a.m. in the morning here in sunny, cold-ass Florida. So we're going to call it a night, and hope everybody has a happy, healthy, Merry Christmas. We'll be talking to you sometime after Christmas. Not exactly sure when.
Yeah.
We may take a little holiday siesta. No paranormal soup this week because Sunday's Christmas.
Yep.
So who knows? We may come on with a surprise visit, or we may not. But happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and all that to everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us as usual. And we will catch you soon. Have a good one. Good night.
Good night.